Never Stop Learning, week 329. We're going to take a quick look at some new features in Adobe Illustrator CC 2018. All right, so we got a new version of Adobe Illustrator, and I want to talk about 3 new features. The first new feature is the Properties panel, and that's this large panel over here on the right. Now, you might remember we had a navigation bar going across the top. Well, that has been removed and actually transformed into this new Properties panel. And this is really cool. It's still a contextual panel, which means if I select an object or switch to a different tool, the Properties panel is going to switch up. So let me show you what I mean. All right, so if I come back over here on the bottom left, I'm going to select this text. Notice the Properties panel changed up. So here we have some transform options, appearance options, same thing for character, paragraph, and down here at the bottom we have our quick actions buttons. Now this is really cool because they have these nice big buttons here, and this will create outlines or arrange. So if you click on this button here, you can pick and choose the arrangement, basically the stacking order inside of this layer. All right, so let me target this rectangle over here. All right, so in the Properties panel, it shows me that I have a rectangle selected. Here's the transform, appearance, and those are the only ones that's showing up right now, along with the quick actions down over here at the bottom. All right, so now it shows a different set of buttons. We can offset path, expand the shape. Again, we have arrange. We could also align to pixel grid or recolor. All right, so I want to show you something else. Over here in these areas that you see for appearance or transform, down on the bottom right, you see these 3 dots? When you hover over them, they'll tell you what they do basically. Here, this is going to open the appearance panel. So when I click on that, it brings up the entire appearance panel. All right, so I'll get rid of that. Now over here for transform, notice those 3 dots say more options. So when I click on that, it doesn't give me the entire transform panel, but it does give me more transform options. If I need the entire transform panel, I'd have to go into the window menu at the top, scroll through, find transform, click on it, and that'll bring up the panel for me. All right. So that's kind of a quick breakdown of the Properties panel. Again, this is going to be great for new users. It's kind of less intimidating. For me, one of the reasons I like it, it kind of simplifies things. It gives me more area to play with here with my designs. Now, if you've been using Illustrator for a long time, it might take a little bit of getting used to, but if you want to go back to the old version, just go into your workspace, choose Essentials Classics, and it'll bring it back to what you're used to. All right, so I'll leave it over here for Essentials. Now, the next new feature that I want to talk about is in the preferences. So I'm going to hit Command K. All right, if you're on a PC, you want to hit Control K. Down over here at the bottom, we have this option here for performance, and then we have this section over here for others. We have undo counts. All right, so in previous versions, you had an unlimited amount of undos, and now we have this little drop-down menu here, and you can pick and choose if you want 50 undos, 100 undos is the default, and you could also go with as much as 200 undos. Now, notice Adobe's going to give us this little warning here. All right, so it says that for 200 undos, that's going to require more memory, and it may impact the performance. And that's the exact reason why they put a cap on the amount of undos. All right, so before we could undo as many times as we wanted, but it would actually hold up a bunch more memory and it would kind of slow down the performance. All right, so right now we're going with 100 as a good midpoint. All right, I'll click OK. Now the next new feature is again an option, but this is actually really important. This is a new option that Adobe Illustrator users were screaming for. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so in a previous version of Adobe Illustrator 2017, we had this new feature where if you selected an object and then you were to try to zoom in, it would bring it in right in the center of the document. All right, so it was going to do that for you from now on, and this was a pretty cool new feature. The problem was there was no other way to work. Now, Illustrator users wanted an option to be able to turn that off. All right, so let me show you how to find it. You want to hit Command K, just go into your preferences. Over here on the left, you want to choose Selection and Anchor Display. All right, over here towards the middle, you'll see Zoom to Selection. all you have to do is uncheck that box, click OK. Now if I move this over and zoom in, it's going to actually ignore that selection I had. All right, let's go back into the preferences. I'll turn this back on, click OK. Now when I zoom in, notice it goes back to our selection. All right, so now you have an option to turn that on or off. I know I'm going to be picking and choosing when to use it for each individual project. So there you have it, folks. That's a quick look at some of the new features in Adobe Illustrator CC 2018.